The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
Joe Reed returning. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Lost the twist.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. Off the play fake. Strong. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Off play action. Strong. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goedert. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Defensively, Harrison Phillips there to stop him.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Strong. Dancing to his left. And this one is incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Off play action. Strong. And incomplete on the deep ball.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
Punter Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers. 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Mon. It's caught. Smith. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Mon to the air on 1st and 10. Flush to his right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Mon. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. A hole to dig out of here. 2nd and 17.
Coming to you.
From the gun, Strong. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 1st and 10, here's Mon. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after one. Second down at 4. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The coverage unit out there thinking pass on 3rd and 3. Mon looks to throw. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
From the 39, Mon. Complete. Jefferson the target.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Getting the ball is Cook running left. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Mond's throw there caught by Gallup. And he's got this down to the 35.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or a man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Mon now off of play action. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Left side, Cook. There's a nice, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. It's Barkley on the counter, and they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 1st half. All knotted up at 7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He'll buy some time right. This is Smith with a grab. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A handoff, Barkley running left. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. He's at the 40, the 30, and what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
He's still barreling through. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Setting up the screen for Cook, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7.
14, Tigers 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And with him trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Being chased out left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there just before halftime.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure is good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play. And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Back to throw again. Flushed out right. And they'll go back to Smith. This time it's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
He had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short, definitely was a great time to dial one up.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Strong. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. J.J. Arthega-Whiteside. in the final seconds of the first half. And the Tigers have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Elliott good with a PAT. And we are tied here in the second quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This taken in at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now Mon. That's complete to his running back, Jefferson. Oh, what a juke into space. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
He's got a man. It's his fullback. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll make this a second down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Second down and 3. Mon going to throw it. Toward the pylon, caught. And the Vikings are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Madison. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Again, Madison. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Alexander Madison, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Joe Reed going to return it from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
A big connection on that one. 36 yards. On first down, Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Second down, here's Barkley again. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Now a handoff here to his running back. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And, partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Running left, it's Barkley. Running right through him. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so...
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Tigers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will tie our game here in the third. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Madison running left, and this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw here. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Looks to throw on 1st down. And that is incomplete here.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 35. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. And I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Rolling to his right. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Strong. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
On second down, here's Barkley. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The kick by Elliott is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ballgame. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mon finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham. You have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
And that one spanning an even 65 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Reed. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
He'll fire it deep for Rager. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. A big connection on that one. 39 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. A give to Barkley out of the gun. Shoves him aside. Fighting through, and he's got space. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Oftentimes, broken tackles are his specialties, and put another one on his tally there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. One-on-one, not likely to get him down. You need everyone else to get there and help you. I think they were signaling for you and I to jump on the pile and try and get...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Off play action. Strong. Rolling to his left. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down. Makes it manageable now.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Boston Scott, his first carry, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Boston Scott, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Tigers have retaken the lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and that gives him a 3-point lead.
Tigers 31, Vikings 28.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. They go play action here. Mon. And he whips that one incomplete there. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Throw left side is complete on the diving effort.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Kaiser White. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. That one looks like he'll throw here. Out to his left. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. from the gun on third down. Strong to Barkley on the check down. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. Running again with Barkley on second down. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.